What's up, guys? All right, so today going to be a little bit of a tech review. So today I'm reviewing Canon's new 28-70 f2 RF lens. I'm sure you've seen 100 of these by now, and hopefully this video gives you some new input that you might not have seen already. But I'm just going to give you my real world experience and what my opinion of this lens is and whether or not it's worth it. So if you've liked the videos that you've seen, please like and subscribe for more, and thank you guys for all the support. So it's been about 4 months since I bought Canon's new RF 28-70 f2 lens. I spent a good deal of time debating whether or not I needed it, whether or not I could afford it, and whether or not I would get the use that I need out of it. I'm primarily a prime lens shooter, so I use fixed focal length lenses. I have a 50mm 1.2, a 35mm 1.4, and a 85mm 1.2, all Canon lenses. And I've been shooting like that for almost 10 years now. So I was really hesitant to change up my system because that is a drastic change after shooting like that for 10 years. Me personally, I think that benefited me a little bit as far as my style of shooting, versatility, knowing how certain shots will look based on the focal length. And I'd recommend any photographer to learn how to use focal lenses and use them to their advantage. But the one thing I do know is that I hate changing lenses when I'm in a time crunch. So of course, for me, in my situation, I'm a wedding photographer, so time can be of the essence. For the most part, I always have two cameras with me to begin with. I use a holster by Holdfast. It's called the Money Maker, and it's really convenient for photographers that like to have more than one camera on them for whatever reason it may be. But still, there may be a reason where I might have to change lenses, especially during times like family photos where I need something a little bit wider, or I'm trying to shoot portraits with the bride and groom and I need something a little bit tighter and shooting more wide open. So for me, this lens has definitely been beneficial. On a wedding day, an average wedding day, I can honestly say that 90 to 95% of the time, maybe even more, I have this lens on my camera, which is a big deal. So that's less time I have to spend changing the lens. There's less of a chance of me missing an important shot, and it just makes it more convenient, and I get more shots because I'm not changing the lens. So like I said, in those situations I just mentioned, when I have to change from shooting family photos to going right into portraits where I have a time crunch, that's very beneficial to skip that step. Now, I still have these lenses, but as far as value, I know that there's a lot of specs and there's a lot of reviews that go about and talk about how quick it is when focusing, how good the autofocus is with this lens. But to me, the real value is that it takes the place of potentially 3 lenses that I was using. All those lenses that I mentioned before, those fixed focal length lenses, are worth still thousands of dollars. I may sell them, I may not. I still keep them. I've never really been into selling old gear because I always end up finding a use for it anyway. But that's 3 lenses that it takes the place of. So as far as value and whether or not it's worth it, I definitely think it is. It is a bit pricey. I think the price point right now is a little above $3,000. I definitely recommend maybe saving up or some type of payment plan if that's what you choose to do. But if you do buy it, you will get your money back, especially if you do something like wedding photography, or if you're any other type of photographer as a business, you'll end up making your money back on it and you'll love the results. And I have so far. Some things to know about this lens: it is a bit heavy, which isn't a big deal for me because when I was in college, I started out shooting sports. So I was used to dealing with heavy lenses. I shot with lenses such as Canon's 300mm, which is massive. So as far as like being heavy and walking around with it all day, I do get how it can be a bit of a difference if you're like working 8 to 10 hour wedding days, even more, and you're walking with this thing around, which is another reason why I think the Holdfast Moneymaker or any other holster that may be similar to that style might be helpful, to give your arms a break. But it definitely can be an adjustment if you're used to using smaller prime lenses, which I was. I noticed the weight difference after about 4 hours into a wedding day, even 3 hours in. So I would say be aware of that. I don't know if you can see the ratio basically, but it is pretty big. But honestly, at that point, I've seen reviews that they pick that as a negative. You're really looking, you're fishing at that point. If that's the biggest of your worries is the weight of it, I think you'll be fine. In my opinion, I wouldn't let that deter you from getting the lens. You'll adapt, trust me. I really don't have many complaints as far as this lens goes. That's the only negative thing I've seen from people is the weight of it. But I think after you start to shoot with it and adjust to it, it won't be anything that you're thinking about. It'll be in the back of your mind. That's my quick review of the Canon 28-70 f2. I'm sure maybe in another couple months I'll give you more of an in-depth review as far as the specs, how quick it focuses, the autofocus, the sharpness, which I think is very, very good. So I'll give you more of an in-depth review of this lens as we do more weddings. Springtime's coming up, so we're getting ready to head into our busy wedding season. So of course we'll have plenty of content to bring you, more films. I hope you guys have been enjoying the films that we've been posting here on YouTube and on our shorts. Again, as always, thank you guys for looking and thank you guys for viewing. I hope you like what you see. Please like and subscribe because that would be awesome. That would help us out a lot, and we can't wait to bring you more content. Thank you.